This is for missing assignments. You're going to want to click go to IXL.com. It's going to be in 8th grade. You want to make sure your name's up here in the corner so that it records your score. The first one we're going to look at is AA1. It is find the slope of a graph. This is a review topic from 7th grade. Basically, what you do is you find two spots on the graph where it crosses in the corner of a box. So if we're on the line, it crosses in the corner of a box there. It crosses in the corner of a box there. We can then draw a line straight up and straight across. We can see that it rises 2 and runs 1. So the slope of this would be 2 over 1. And then we have to check left to right, is it going up or down? And in this case, left to right, it's going up. So this is a positive 2 over 1. So we'll type in 2 over 1 here. And that is our slope. Same thing for the next question. You're going to find where it crosses in the corner of a box there, also crosses there, straight up, straight across. We can see that it rises 3 and runs 4. Again, left to right, it's going up, so the slope of this is 3 over 4. We're going to jump ahead and stuff because this is giving us the same type of questions. We want to make it a little bit more difficult. Again, same type of questions. We want to make it a little bit harder. So this is still asking for the slope. You find where it crosses in the corner of a box, which is right there. And if we follow again, it crosses there. We still do the same thing. We draw straight up and straight across. We can see that it rises 1, and then it runs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, left to right, it's going up. So this is positive. So the slope of this would be 1 over 7. The same thing, the only thing that's different this time is we find it where it crosses in the corner of a box here and there. We go straight up and straight across to the point. We can see that rises 1 and runs 3. This time, though, left to right, you can see that it is going down. So this is negative. So this would be negative 1 over 3. The negative always goes in the front. Same thing, this one is going to be negative as well. We can see left to right, it's going down, so we know it's going to be negative. It crosses here and here. Draw our triangle, right triangle. It rises 1 and runs 4. So this has a slope of negative 1 over 4. When you're finished with this, you're going to move on to the next one. Make sure you put the negative sign. If you're struggling with this and you need help, there's a tutorial video up here in most of these IXLs that will show you how to do them. So this one's negative 1 over 4. Go ahead and click submit. When you're done with that one, you're going to go on to 8th grade AA2, which is right here. It says find the slope from 2 points. This is an equation. It asks you to find, it just gives you 2 points, and then you have to use the formula. So the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And so basically this is an x, this is a y, this is an x, and this is a y. And I always just go 1, 1, 2, 2, so that I can plug it into the formula. Y2 would be 8 minus y1 would be 5, x2 would be 7, x1 would be 3. And so you can absolutely do this in your head if you want. 8 minus 5 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. If you're struggling with this a little bit, though, you could use Desmos Scientific Calculator. Maybe you're not very good at subtracting, especially if there starts to be negatives in there. So you just plug 8 minus 5 into a calculator, highlight the 8 minus 5, and you're going to click divide. And then on the bottom side, you would plug in 7 minus 3. And it will tell you, if you click this circle, what the fraction is, 3 over 4. So then you go back here, you type 3 over 4. The nice thing is as you get these, so again, this is x, this is y, 1, 1, x2, y2. You can do 9 minus 12 in the calculator up here on this part here. So you change this to 9 minus 12. And then down here, you're going to go to 8 minus 4. And then you click the circle and you'll see that it gives you negative 3/4.
No. What you mean no?
I'm recording a video. Please go away for a second. Negative 3 over 4. And then you're going to click submit. And you'll repeat that over and over again. So then when you're finished with this one, you're going to go back to 8th grade and you're going to do AA5. And so AA5 would be graph a line using slope. And so AA5 is, the first thing you got to do is graph this point 4, 9. So 4, 9 would be, here's 4, go up to 9 and put a dot there. And then it says the slope is 1/4. Remember that slope is always written rise over run.
Can you help me? Why not? It's on my study island. I'm trying to get some fries.
Go up 1 and over 4. And so if we're here, we go up 1 and over 4. And then you're going to click submit. The same thing is true. It's always rise over run. So this one says graph the point 0, 5. So we're going to graph the point 0, 5. The slope this time says 4, but if we change 4 to a fraction, that would be 4 over 1. And so that means rise 4, run 1. So if we go back to here, we're going to rise 4 and then run 1. And then that is how we're going to do. And so same thing for this one. We're going to graph the point 0, 5. We're going to go up to 0, 5. It says the slope is 1/7, so that means rise 1, run 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that would be how you graph that. And then you continue to do this over and over again. Remember, we changed whole numbers to fractions, so this would be 3 over 1. So 0, 7's here, rise 3, run 1. When you finish that, you're going to move on to 8th grade AA9. AA9 is write a linear equation from a graph. And so basically you need to write the formula y equals mx plus b. And so where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So if we're here on AA9, the equation we're always trying to write is y equals mx plus b. The only two things we need to know are b and m. And so here is the b. It's called the y-intercept. It's where it crosses the y-axis at. So we can see that this is at 9. And then we got to figure out the slope the same way we did before. It crosses there, and we can see it rises 1 and runs 1. So this is 1 over 1. And so the equation that we're going to type in would be y equals 1 over 1x and then plus 9. the equation we need to type in, again, is this here. We only need to know what the y-intercept is and what the slope is. And so as we're doing that, we're going to keep finding that same equation. The b for this is 20. The slope for this, again, if we follow it, crosses again there, it rises 1 and runs 1. Left to right, it is going up again, so it's positive. So we would type in y equals 1 over 1x plus 20. And then click submit. We're going to jump ahead and make a few of these a little bit harder. So we still want to write the equation y equals mx plus b. We need to know what b is. In this case, it is -8. And then we follow the line until it crosses again. It rises 1 and runs 1. So the slope is 1 over 1. Left to right, it's going up, so it's positive. So the equation we would type in is y equals 1 over 1x minus 8. And then this one's a little bit different, so we're going to do it as well. We want to find out what the b is. In this case, it's right here. It is -30. The slope, we find the same way. We follow the line. You should notice that left to right, it's going down, so this is going to be a negative slope. It rises this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Has a run of 1. So this is -7 over 1. So the equation you would type in is y equals -7 over 1x minus 30. And then you click submit. The rest of them should be done the same way. Hopefully you'll get to the point where you could do it like this. Y equals, we can see that the slope is rise 1, run 1, so 1 over 1 x, and then we can see that the y-intercept is right here at -70. Go ahead and click submit. When you finish that one, you're going to move on to Algebra 1 S8. Algebra 1 S8 is a similar IXL than one that we've already done. So IXL S8 or S7, sorry, is slope intercept from a graph. You do it the exact same way that we just did the previous one. You have to know what y equals mx plus b is still. But this time it wants us to graph it. And so the b tells us where to start at. So when I see -7, that tells me -7. And then when I see 5, the slope of that would be 5 over 1. So that means go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1 to the right. Same thing here. +6 tells me to start at 6. 1/3 tells me to rise 1 and run 3. Here, it tells me to start at -8. -1/3 tells me to go down 1 and over 3 to the right. The negative tells you to go down. You always go to the right regardless of whether it's positive or negative. And then you keep doing these over and over again. We can skip to where they get a little bit harder, but it's still going to be the same. -3 is where I start. 9 over 4 means go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then click submit. Again, almost all of these have spots where you can go back and work on stuff. Not filling these, it shows you things that you should go back and work on. When you finish that one, you're going to go to Algebra 1 S8. Algebra 1 S8 is it's the same as what it was for writing the equation before. We got this here. It's the y equals mx. It's the same as AA9, I believe. So we can see that the y-intercept is 2, right? Our b is 2 here. Our slope crosses again there. It rises 1 and runs 2, 3, 4, 5. So our slope is 1 over 5. And you're going to keep doing this just like you did IXL AA9. So this would be 1 over 5x plus 2. And then keep going. It's identical to the one that we've already done before. When you finish that one, you're going to go to IXL 7th grade. And you're going to do V6. IXL 7th grade is write a linear equation from a graph, which is identical to what we just did on the previous one. You got to know what the b is, and you got to know what the slope is. So for this one, the y-intercept is 0. It follows again, crosses there. It rises 6 and runs 1. So this is 6 over 1. It's positive. We would write y equals 6 over 1x. And then you could put plus 0. It's not necessary to put plus 0, but you can if you want. And you would do that until it's finished. It's just like the other ones that we've been doing. So the y-intercept for this one would be negative 800. Or I'm sorry, negative 700. It's right there. Crosses again there. It rises 1 and runs 1. So the slope is 1 over 1. Left to right, it's going up. So this will be a positive slope. So we would type in y equals 1 over 1x minus 700. Now, when you finish this, you're going to do the edge elastic. You go back to Canvas. You're going to click on November 12th. And then you're going to click on the edge elastic assignment here. And then you're going to go through and answer the questions the best that you can. And so make sure you're logged in. You should be able to click sign in with Google. Once you've signed in, it should take you directly to the assignment. Mine looks a little bit different because mine's a teacher's account. So the assignment for November 12th would have been, should have been labeled as November 12th. So we'll double check and make sure this is the right one. Yes, this is the right one here. So you would go back and you would do on the Edge Elastic, it's called Writing and Graphing Equations Quiz. And so Writing and Graphing Equations Quiz, we're going to preview it. And this is just the same thing that we've been doing. The b on this one is 1. The slope is negative 1 over 2. Click next. There's 10 questions. You're going to do the same thing for this one. You're going to do the same thing for this one, the same thing for this one, same thing for this one. On this one here, it wants you to graph it. So your first thing you're going to do is click line, start at negative 2, and then it says 1/3, so rise 1 and run 3, and it should graph the line for you. And then this is you're going to do the same thing, graph the line, which is things that we've practiced on IXL and stuff. And then when you're done, you're going to click submit. It'll tell you your score. You'll notice I got number 1 and 6 correct. The other ones I didn't answer. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me.